This is some of my favorite gear from the Double Alpha Academy, and in this video, I'm going to do a little show and tell. Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. Over the last few years, you guys have seen a lot of DAA products here on the channel. So I thought I would just do a quick video to do somewhat of a show and tell, showcasing some of my favorite DAA gear. Now, I do have more gear coming up from DAA, so make sure that you're subscribed and you check that out when it gets published. So let's start with press equipment. So you'll notice a lot of the Double Alpha equipment is kind of geared towards Dillon, because Dillon has been kind of that de facto standard reloading gear for competitive pistol shooters and match shooters. And Double Alpha Academy has a lot of products aimed at that audience. So one of the products I really like is this case feed system that DAA has designed and implemented for the 550. I do a lot of loading on the 550. This is an RL 550C. Could be match ammunition, could be hunting ammunition, and the case feed system is economical. It works really well. There's a bowl that collates the cases and they drop down in their proper orientation. That's one great product. Another, I just finished filming the video for the turbo case feed plate. You might have already watched that if we've already published that video. This is for Hornady and for Dillon case feed systems. They use the same diameter case feed plate. What's cool about this is, A, it increases your throughput. We saw about 20% more, I think it was 18% more throughput with 9mm cases in a quick test that we did. It reduces jams, and it's also universal for pistols. So if you're loading 9mm up to, say, 45 ACP, you can keep this case feed plate in place. It's also got the enhanced wedge, which would be for the new DC motor variable speed Dillon case feed bowls. And that is available separately if you're using the standard Dillon case feed plates and want to use this enhanced wedge. So that's a couple press things. Also, you've seen on quite a few of the presses, including Mark 7, the Mr. Bullet Feeder system. We've used it for pistol, we've used it for rifle, for calibers from 9mm and 22 cal all the way up to 45 ACP and 30 cal for pistols and rifles respectively. Once you get a hang of the adjustments for the orientation and the feeding of the bullets, it's a really easy system to get used to, and it uses internal ball bearings to help drop the cases, and I've found that that works well. I've got here the enhanced Dillon powder through expander, and that's something that they include with the pistol sets, and that's going to help flare the case just perfectly to hold and retain a bullet, so that you don't have bullets toppling as they're indexed. So I've got dedicated videos on Mr. Bullet Feeder, and I've also got a lot of videos where I'm adding a Mr. Bullet Feeder to a Mark 7 Evolution or Apex 10 or RL 1050, RL 1100, those kinds of presses. Really good stuff. And then also on those presses, you've seen the magnetic powder check. This is a fully adjustable unit, works with rifle and pistol, and it is very reliable. It's self-contained. It's a standard 7/8 by 14 die, so it's going to work in just about any press where you have room for a powder check station. And if you're using a bullet feed, I should note on the Dillon XL750, there's a extra short charge bar for the powder measure that prevents a conflict that you'll have in the respective station on the 750. You're going to want to check that video out as well. If you have a 750 and want to run bullet feed, I would recommend Mr. Bullet Feeder and that extra short powder charge bar from Double Alpha Academy. Finally, there's a whole host of primer handling products from Double Alpha. I do have a dedicated video on that. In short, I use the Primer Pro for high volume when I'm using small primers, but really almost every time I load primers, I'm using the PrimaFill. It's got the ability to load both small and large primers. I have one set up for each, but really all you need to do is flip this little magnetic wedge here that blocks the port that you're not using. The tubes are inserted down on the bottom. They stick in place, and when you're done loading your primers, you just push up on this little lever there and it releases. And it's got the integrated flip tray built in, so you basically just dump your primers in, you shake it, you put on the lid, and you load. It's really a good system. There's also this product. I can't say this is my favorite because I haven't used it yet. I'm only using PrimaFill at this point, or Primer Pro. But Double Alpha Academy does have, and I will be using these to try them out, their own flip trays that are economical and kind of a nice size. So I'm looking forward to using that. Finally, there is the rack for the tubes. And I will note that in the primer tube department, Double Alpha has created the tube system for the Primal Rights competition primer cedar. So there's black and red tubes for that. For Double Alpha, they use the blue and the red for the color coding for large and small. So as you can see, I've got quite a few products for Double Alpha, and there's some new stuff coming. So again, I'm excited to get my hands on that gear and to continue trying it out and showing it to you all. My question for you is, what is your favorite Double Alpha gear? Do you have some of their competitive pistol shooting gear that you'd use out in a match? I would love to hear about it. I'm kind of curious about that as well. Do you have reloading gear that you like from Double Alpha Academy? Drop a comment. Tell us what equipment you like from DAA. Tell us what you're loading and what you're loading it for, whether it be competition or for hunting or plinking or who knows what. And like I said, make sure you are subscribed so that you'll get updates here at Ultimate Reloader and see additional gear that we feature. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. If you're interested in custom rifles like what we build here on the channel or gunsmithing services, you're going to want to go to rifles.ultimatereloader.com and get on the wait list. If you're interested in becoming a professional gunsmith, check out the Sonoran Desert Institute. They've got a degree program, they've got a certificate program, and you can study from home. Learn more at sdi.edu. Thanks again for watching.